Hello everyone, my name is Hypewolf and this is my experience in Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of a Mimic. Ah! Jesus Christ! Ah! Jesus Christ! But that's all still to come. Firstly, we need to sit through a long car ride. We are playing as Arnold, an overworked and underpaid employee of Fazbear Entertainment, sent to retrieve property from Edwin Murray's Costume Manor. The property in question being the Mimic, but we don't know that yet. Before we leave our van, we are provided a data diver. And after finding our way into the building, we have to sit through an opening theme song that I couldn't help but sing along to. Oh. Sadly, it malfunctions, blocking us from progressing in that direction. Luckily, there's another way to go. We move through a corridor filled with costumes, unsure if something will pop out and scare us. Next, we enter the main security office. In the office, we speak to dispatch and we were able to upgrade our data diver, which we can now use to start turning on the power for the facility. The puzzle mechanic for turning on the power was actually quite cool and fairly unique. I mean, some of the puzzles were actually difficult. I mean, time pressure doesn't help, but nonetheless, pretty cool. Back in the office, we learn more about the Mimic and get firmly ensured that we'll be saved from it.
And after you find that schematic for us, we can certainly try to maybe find a way to probably save your life.
Maybe, kinda, certainly, kinda, maybe, find, yeah. Shut up. Dispatch tells us where to go and supplies us a hand crank to get there. We start making our way over, but are rudely interrupted by the Mimic, forcing us to hide and wait, but with some master deception, it was no match for us. After narrowly avoiding the Mimic, we take an elevator up to the next floor. On one side, there's a hole in the wall, another requires a hand crank, but down the last is a security office with another upgrade station. After a failed attempt, we get the repair permissions and venture through the hole in the wall. This is where we meet Jackie, the face of this game's marketing. It's clear to see just how much I love her. Why does it have the puppets music? I think Jackie has some connection to the puppet. Ah! Jesus Christ! Down the previously locked hall, we meet the Digityper, which is one of my favourite designs ever. I mean, isn't he just the coolest guy? Hello.
Please select your method of delivery. I deliver in a snap.
Hello.
I will.
And, well, immediately after meeting him begins the first chase scene. And we just have to kind of sit here and wait as Jackie tears into the Digityper and throws him through the wall. Huh? After sustaining a bit of a fall, we run through the tunnels of the facility, occasionally catching glimpses of Jackie. After using some incredibly slow elevators, we come face to face with Jackie once again. Oh. And so the real chase begins. It took me a couple tries to complete, but on the third try I was able to continue the trend of indie horror villains being crushed by doors. And then I immediately got jump scared by a vent. That scared the shit out of me. We say goodbye to Jackie and land miraculously back in the security office. How the hell did I get back here? Oh. Through the roof. Okay, I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent here. That whole section with Jackie was, what, 10 minutes? Bro. She was like the face of this game and she got 10 minutes. That is almost the least of any Mimic character. I feel like Dolly, Chica, and Big Top have way more screen time than Jackie got. Also, another side note, I think Dolly's lines are hilarious. Here are some of my favourites.
I recommend shock therapy.
Anyways, back in the office we get another Mimic lore drop and a told that distraction and avoidance are probably our best tools against the Mimic. Next, we have to listen to the welcome show. Again. But, as stated previously, some of it's pretty good. This time, however, we can actually go through the door. Exploring the lobby, I come across a broken lift, and guided by Mrs. Helpful, I fix it. I would like to say that it was easy, but I died multiple times through the process of fixing it. Entirely my fault, by the way. I just thought I should say. After fixing the lift, I get to see what happened to the other employees who came looking for the mimic. Moving swiftly on, I go into the lift and proceed onwards and upwards. I quickly proceeded to power up the Big Top showroom and was introduced to the monstrously large Big Top, who is a very clear predecessor to DJ Music Man. I then proceeded to absolutely destroy all of the carnival games. I mean, I saved that, but I didn't actually get any high scores, sadly. I actually quite like this segment. I mean, I thought it was a nice mix of mechanics. However, the prize wheel is so genuinely frustrating. It didn't happen much in my playthrough, but watching other people's, it is so obviously rigged, and I know it's designed like that. It is like top tier rage bait, and it's honestly frustrating for me to watch. After doing a rinse and repeat a couple of times, we get access to the balcony area, and using a code, we can make our way up to the next upgrade station. Despite thinking I'd messed up, I managed to clutch the data driver upgrade, and now we were officially creators. I mean, I'm a content creator, but you know, slightly different thing. For some reason, we decided to take a walk on the roof, but it is quickly interrupted by Big Top, and so begins his chase scene. Okay, I am quite a big fan of this chase scene. The music especially is really good at creating an atmosphere, and the current space definitely adds to the horror of the sequence. And while the end is somewhat anticlimactic, I think both the sound and visual design more than make up for it. Back at the security office, we continue our talk with Dispatch, and armed with knowledge and praise, I start making my way to the theatre. After restoring power, I use my mild ignorance for stealth to try and run past the mimic, which was not the best idea, but somehow managed to work in practice. After rummaging through offices and watching a coffee commercial, I enter the next big area, the workshop. Before I do anything, I need to start the assembly of my spring-lock suit. I mean, it's only missing practically every part, no biggie. A lot of camping was done by the mimic in this section, making it quite slow and long. But it was still fairly enjoyable. Slowly, I gathered all of the suit parts, and by slowly, I mean slowly. This section took nearly 20 minutes. It's not even like I died a lot either, it's just a lot of waiting for the mimic to leave us alone. At just over 2 hours into the first stream, I could finally get into my springlock suit. Thankfully, no failures took place in this game. I then proceeded to explore the very rundown backstage type area. There was a small jump scare, but I managed to be looking in the completely wrong direction, so I was just more confused and scared. After some small puzzle completion, I could start lowering a path for my springlock suit. With a shot from my arm cannon, I was able to progress even more.
To the stage left.
I'm the operator. The next sequence was quite long. It was a performance, and occasionally I would have to shoot targets to progress the story, but it was bordering on 10 minutes long. At the end of the show, the building started collapsing, and we would awaken in the springlock suit, greeted by Nurse Dolly, who was unknowingly going to try and kill us. Good thing we were behind 4,625 other tasks.
Jesus Christ.
The next thing we learned is that Edwin Murray canonically coined the term recycling, and by a lesser extent, going green. Although he meant it in a more money sense, because money's green than being respectful about the environment.
Edwin is a genius.
I then got jump scared by a G-typer and found Dolly, who had ripped her feet off of, or just ripped her legs up. I think they were welded to the floor, and she just kind of, yeah. And so we enter the doll hospital, which is another very well designed area, but I did get slightly soft locked for a couple minutes. After 7 minutes of soft locking myself, I finally got through to the incinerator room. I quickly gathered the cubes of trash and proceeded to upgrade my data diver for the penultimate time. With admin permissions in the bag, I swiftly collected the last cubes of trash and made my way to say goodbye to Dolly. Press the door close button. Goodbye, Dolly. Gosh, I'm really glad I won't be seeing her again. Right. I go down some more painfully slow lifts, and oh my god, you've got to be kidding me. How the actual fuck did she survive that?
Such nice music.
Why is she designed to withstand being melted in molten metal? What the hell, Edwin?
Let me go.
But besides that, this is pretty cool. I mean, Dolly's design and music are both outstanding. The stealth and kind of chase areas were really well done. And oh my gosh, the elevator scene.
Shit.
That was
Hello.
incredible. Absolutely adored that part, as well as being able to see the mimic climb out of
look
Dolly
at the
before she
mimic
got
climbing
crushed.
out.
Very nice detail.
Oh,
still,
you
steel
are-
wool.
Creepy.
Escaping through the lift, we can return to the security office, and dispatch instructs us to go forward into the warehouse. And this is where we meet Chica. After collecting the missing parts of a power puzzle, I am able to complete it and restore power to the area. After narrowly avoiding Chica on multiple occasions, I was able to finally leave the area. I quickly solved both of the puzzles and was able to move on once more. I descended further into the facility where I came, once more, face to face with Chica and a godforsaken army of her cupcakes. After getting caught a couple of times, I decided to change my tactics, which causes me to accidentally skip a large chunk of this section. And guess what? The door locked immediately but afterwards. Goodbye forever to the stuff I never saw, I guess. However, I was quite happy to get to the next and final upgrade to my data diver. I then used it to access Edwin Murray's office, where I collected the Mimic's blueprints and made our way into the deeper basements and one of the most intense parts of the games, the dark tunnels. What awaits us in the dark has been quite heavily theorized, although I believe it to be the spirit of David, Edward Murray's son, as the Tiger Rock plushie was his favourite, and that is who torments us in the pitch black halls. This section is extremely disconcerting. The darkness makes it extremely easy to lose any sense of location. There is also a strong juxtaposition between the large expanses and the claustrophobic tunnels that sandwich each other. This section took a couple of
Jesus
tries to
Christ.
complete, but the horror was certainly
Jesus
not lost
Christ.
on me. The appearances seem to be somewhat random, so it's slightly different every time. Despite my high praise, I was very much glad to be out of that place and back into the light. I was able to quite quickly return to the security office, and I was offered a choice. Well, more so I was given a command, but I just decided to ignore it. Instead of handing in the data diver, I chose to run parachute.exe, an option only on that computer, but had been there since the beginning, but it was always blocked by executive permissions.
Make it out of here alive.
Dispatch drops their facade almost instantly, and we can put together the pieces that we've been actually speaking to the Mimic for a large portion of the game. Dispatch gives a monologue as we wind through the dusty tunnels of the manor, all the way back to the beginning of the game, but this time we can hear the goodbye show. A pillar rises from the centre and we press a button, commencing our descent. As we go down, we re-encounter Big Top, now dishevelled,
Hello.
with pull levers to continue travelling down
You
out
again.
of his reach. We proceed into the research and development area, getting once again talked to by Dispatch. After activating a generator, we pull back a curtain and step onto a prototype stage of a FNAF 1 pizzeria. As we activate the stage lights, we learn that the Mimic followed us down, and now it is an amalgamation of parts. Using a collection of springlock suits, we can avoid the mimic and open doors until we reach F10N4, or Fiona, Edwin's wife, who helps us to try and bring down a mimic once and for all. We travel through the tunnels until we reach a carriage that takes us directly to Edwin's house. The mimic, of course, is ready and waiting. In the house, we have to collect 5 film reels so that we can make a code to open Edwin's room. We also get to see a story playing out of Fiona's death and her being replaced by M1.
I baked it myself for David's special day.
I managed to get through this area with minimal difficulty, and I was finally able to reach Edwin's room, only to find out he'd been exploded. It's unknown whether that was caused unto himself or by the mimic, who is at this point M2. We get access to a surveillance room where we can run cradle.exe, however the mimic is trying very hard to catch us. We escape into an elevator and Fiona talks over the intercom, although she thinks she's talking to Edwin. F10 and 4 enter standby mode and the mimic bursts from the elevator, and so begins the final chase. Because the pizza place, well, is real. Oh. Not a big fan of the carnival music that's playing as I'm running away from the mimic. Okay, not that way. I am sweating with fear. Door. Lever. Work, please. Hello. Away from you. He's a strong guy. Oh. Thank you for being swift.
Time for us to say goodbye. Inspired by our showroom tour. And that you leave here with exciting new ideas to make your family fun centers even more spectacular than they already are.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate your business. And we'll
Yeah, it was a really nice visit, you know. I really enjoyed everything you had on offer here.
our technological
I'm
wizards
definitely
never stop
going to
dreaming
be
of new costumes,
investing more in this
games, and
company.
experiences. So, remember the name Murray when you think fun.
I sure will, buddy.
Drive safe.
Of course. Can you open the door? Thank you. Jesus Christ. This place has seen better days. I guess that's a loading area. That makes some sense. Look at all the little bits of mimic. Look at all the little bits. They're all a bit odd. Look who it is. It's our least favorite guy. Looking scary as ever. Oh, oh, you are. Creepy. Look at the way it walks. And that's it. That is FNAF Secret of the Mimic. Overall, I think was a really good game. Some interesting mechanics, but the story is very interesting as well. There is little I can find fault about this game. Possibly the spawn camping from the Mimic and the kind of long sections that you just kind of have to sit through. But nonetheless, it's a very playable game. And with that, I draw to close my first big project of the year. So far, I've only wrote the script, but even that took the better part of 3 hours to do, and I don't even want to imagine how long the editing will take. But nonetheless, thank you all so much for watching this, and keep an eye out for more content coming soon, hopefully. Goodbye.